Good afternoon, everyone. We're going to get started here. My name is Greg Rush. I'm the CFO of the Cleveland Browns and the chair of the Providence House Board of Directors. On behalf of Providence House, our children and families, my fellow board members and Legacy Council members, including our amazing event chair, Karen Dolan, I welcome you and thank you for joining us today for our 41st annual anniversary luncheon. Fellow board members, Legacy Council members, and young professional members, please stand and greet our guests with me and welcome back. We have a lot to celebrate on our groundbreaking 41st anniversary. It's been a while since we've all been together, and together, Providence House, like all of us, has adapted to continue to serve children and families through it all. Today, you'll hear about the creativity of Providence House during COVID, get an update on our strategic plan, and hear exciting news about the future growth of Providence House. We are also honored to be joined by our keynote speaker, Cleveland Mayor Justin Bibb, and our amazing Every Child awardees, who you will recognize and will thank at the end of the program. I'm truly honored to be affiliated with Providence House and have the support of my company, the Cleveland Browns. From the front office all the way down through the players, we're all committed to this wonderful organization. It's because of companies like mine, others here, foundations, individuals like all of you out there, that we can support the community, and we have helped keep over 13,000 children safe in our community and support families through crisis. We're going to get on with the program now, and I welcome our incredible luncheon chair and Providence House board member, Karen Dolan. Thank you again for being here today, and welcome back.
Thanks, Greg, for those lovely words, and thank you for your leadership as the chairman of our Providence House board. Okay, I'm so excited to be able to say, welcome to the 41st anniversary Providence House Luncheon. Yay! I'm honored to be standing up here with you again. I'm more honored to be a part of this shining star of an organization. Typically, at this point in the program, I introduce our founder, Sister Hope Greener, who is also my favorite high school teacher. Unfortunately, Sister Hope can't be with us today, but she sent some words and her sincere thanks. These are her words. It is with a joyful heart that I send greetings to you today as you enjoy this beautiful luncheon. How can I begin to thank you for your support of our children at Providence House? It is because of you that we are able to continue to respond to the needs of children and families in our community. Excuse me. What a precious gift. Sadly, I am unable to be with you today, but know that I am with you in spirit and that you are remembered always in my heart and in my prayers. With profound love and gratitude, Sister Hope. We thank Sister Hope for, as usual, her amazing words, and we send her best wishes as she celebrates her 93rd birthday this year on May 3rd. And we're hoping that you'll be able to help us celebrate it today as well. In keeping with our tradition of blessing before we break bread together, and as we end the Easter season and honor Passover, I am so very grateful to welcome a friend from our new East Side community, Senior Pastor Clarence Hall Jr. from Morning Star Baptist Church. He's here to give today's blessing. Pastor?
Shall we bow in prayer? Lord God, what a great day it is to honor you and to give you thanks for all of the many ways that you've been there for us in our times of need. Daily you have provided for us, and daily you have comforted us. And we've come to realize, oh God, that even through seasons of sickness and times of distress, that it was your hand that kept us and brought us through, and for that we give you thanks. We thank you, Lord, for Providence House, and we thank you for blessing them and using them in a mighty way. Because of the great work that they have done, oh God, families have been helped, and children have been rescued, and lives have been changed. But they have not done this great work all by themselves. For within this room, oh God, you have touched the hearts of many, and you have filled them with compassion. And because of their generosity, oh God, they too have become benefactors of this great work. And so, Lord, we come together today, and as we come together, we ask your blessings upon this meal that we're about to receive. We pray, oh Lord, that you would nourish our bodies with it, and that it might strengthen our bodies, and that it might also prepare us for even greater works to come. And we ask all these things in thy precious Son, Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you, Pastor, for those powerful, wonderful words. Pastor Hall and the entire Morning Star community have embraced Providence House and our mission to serve children and families in the Buckeye neighborhood. We are honored to be a part of that community. As you heard from Greg Rush, our groundbreaking program today is a celebration of 41 years of service to children and families. We have an update of how we operated during COVID. We have a progress of our strategic plan and exciting news about our East Campus. And we can't wait to welcome Cleveland Mayor Justin Bibb as our keynote address. And we also can't wait to honor our Every Child Award winners. We have a lot to share today, but as always, I promise to get you out of the ballroom, back to your office, school, work, or Guardians game by 1:30. While you enjoy your meal, please don't forget to visit the Wall of Hope and purchase a bag for $20. Do we have any bags left? Okay. Each bag contains an item worth at least $20, and some have items worth hundreds. Also, please purchase raffle tickets for one of our 7 exciting baskets. Note that basket number 7 is a new addition in the program. It is the white ticket. It's a little bit of country, a little bit of rock and roll, and it features clothing from the Rock Hall of Fame and concert tickets to see, are you ready? New Kids on the Block? Yeah. And the Buckeye Country Superfest. Again, that's the white ticket. But in the other baskets, you could win a Caribbean vacation, something for golf lovers, a Nick Chubb autographed helmet, 12 diamond box dugout seats to see a Cleveland Guardians game, enjoy a luxury weekend on the town, or pamper yourself with a self-care basket. All are fabulous, and you can read more details about it in your program. Each basket has a corresponding colored ticket, so please make sure you purchase that colored ticket for the basket that you want to win. Tickets are $5, 5 for $20, and they can be purchased at the back of the room or from one of the lovely St. Joe's ladies circling the room with a basket. There are also Providence House t-shirts available in the back of the room, and they're between the Wall of Hope and the raffle baskets. 41 years of service to Cleveland's children and families would not be possible without the support of our community. First, I want to recognize our annual corporate sponsors who support Providence House. In your program and on the screens throughout the ballroom, we acknowledge these generous partners who support us year-round and make our mission possible. Thank you to our event sponsors, also on the screens and in your program book, including Dover UCC, CMHA, Anchor Cleveland, and Site Centers. We have some other very distinguished guests with us today. Welcome again, Senior Pastor Hall, and we welcome our Every Child Award winners who will be honored later in our program. Also joining us today, some of our very own Providence House families that you help support keep their kids safe and their family together. They are sponsored today by Globe Life. Thank you to the media here today. They assist us in telling stories about the phenomenal work done at Providence House. We also want to thank our elected officials and special guests here and offer thanks to their support for Providence House. Again, our Cleveland keynote speaker, Mayor Justin Bibb, Cleveland City Council President and our Ward 6 Councilman Blaine Griffin, Ward 4 Councilwoman Deborah Gray, and County Councilwoman Meredith Turner. Also joining from the State House, Representatives Kent Smith and Shayla Davis. Last year, Providence House connected with hundreds of partners, funders, and fellow human service agencies. We are honored to have a number of them on our team join us today. Community West Foundation, Mandel Foundation, CDC-LP, CMHA, Stella Maris, May Dugan Center, and Harvey Rice Wraparound School. Thank you for your partnership and collaboration in our efforts to support children and families in our community. I'm almost done. And I want to recognize the generous support of a few people and companies that have gone above and beyond to make today possible. Thank you, University Hospitals, for their mission partnership and combined community impact efforts with us. Thank you to the Cleveland Guardians, our guest gift sponsors, for providing every guest today with a new Guardians jersey. Thank you, L. Wilhelmy Flowers, for donating our lovely spring centerpieces. And finally, thank you to all our vendors, sponsors, partners, and donors who are all also listed in your program. And finally, a ginormous thank you to my luncheon committee, Providence House staff, and all of the volunteers helping today. You guys are rock stars, as always. A special shout out to the girls from my alma mater as well, St. Joseph Academy. Go Jags. All these generous people and companies have donated their time, talent, and treasures to make today a success. Please help me in thanking everyone. Most importantly, through their support and your support, Providence House has protected and cared for over 13,000, that's 13,000 children in crisis over the last 41 years. That's a wonderful statistic. It's hard to believe it's been more than 2 years since we gathered together to celebrate the mission and success of Providence House and our families. We confronted the crisis of COVID in different ways. We all had to be strong, agile, and creative as we navigated so many changes in our daily lives. Just imagine how difficult it was for families already in crisis, facing homelessness, poverty, illness, instability. How hard it was for them to have the additional crisis of COVID impact their lives and safety. As a frontline service provider, it was an essential time for Providence House to step up in new and creative ways to serve our children and families while keeping the staff as safe as possible. In March 2020, when it felt like the whole world was ending, Providence House mobilized. We knew as a residential service, we needed to modify our service model to not only safely care for children staying in our crisis nursery, but to assist the parents with ongoing case management, visits with their children, and access to necessary basic need items like food, formula, and diapers. Our COVID staff team launched new safety measures like pre-admission testing for all children, increased sanitation protocols throughout the crisis nursery, set up quarantine bedrooms to care for symptomatic children, stocked up on PPE for staff and children, and conducted daily health screenings of every staff and visitor entering the building. Our family preservation program went virtual with Zoom parent-child visits and phone or online parent case management sessions with social workers. We hit the road to deliver warm meals, food, and essential items directly to family homes. We hosted numerous drive-through events to support families in the community who could not access critically needed items for their children. A pivot well done. As we begin to lift some of the more stringent restrictions, we acknowledge that creative approaches that were developed during COVID have enhanced our services in new ways. New ways of improving parent engagement and access through virtual options, new ways of expanding our outreach to the community with essential basic need items, and new ways of caring for our children in the safest ways possible. I could gush forever on this topic, but I'd rather show you the impact that the creativity of Providence House developed during COVID. We have a video to show, and it really illustrates the amazing job that the team has done during the pandemic and beyond.
I ended up having surgery. I brought my daughter here the day of my surgery for like 2 weeks after I had the surgery to recuperate, which helped a lot because I ended up having some serious complications. You know, she wasn't in childcare due to the pandemic.
I don't think any of us could really anticipate how difficult the pandemic would be and how hard these last 2 years were. We really just had to take an opportunity to step back, look at our service model, and figure out how we can best meet the needs of our clients, because our families are still in crisis. It's not always even necessarily related to the pandemic, but made much more complicated and complex because of it. So we had to figure out how can we find that balance of still providing good quality care to the families while keeping them safe, keeping our staff safe, and still making sure that we're delivering the family preservation services that we're really known for.
Oh, we had a whole new safety protocol we had to follow. It was very hard because every week it was changing. So every week we had a different meeting, and we had a COVID team that kept us informed on everything that was changed, a lot of changes, but we kept up with them.
So one of the silver linings that have come out of the last 2 years is really creating a really dynamic service delivery method that allowed families to do programming both virtually and in person.
I obviously couldn't come visit her, so, you know, trying to do video calls with her. I was able to call as much as I wanted, and for me emotionally, she was like a motivation to get better. Being able to see her and just see her laugh and play, you know, that made my day for the day. I was okay then, you know.
At first, it felt a little overwhelming, but then it came to a point where we got creative and we were providing services and just being on the phone, listening to parents, letting them vent, really making sure we talked about the whole family.
It's a way for us to kind of talk without feeling judged.
We realized that we were able to help families overcome a lot of their barriers with things like transportation or childcare for children that weren't admitted to Providence House. We had such high rates of parent engagement during this new service delivery model that we were piloting that now it's just part and parcel of what we do every single day.
Basic need items were huge. That was awesome to be able to do that. And we provide meal kits to families, fresh produce, which they were so appreciative for. We did toy giveaways, diaper giveaways. We did a Coke giveaway that was huge. So just really getting creative with the team to use our internal resources and then also looking outside to say who could we partner with to really meet the needs of our families.
Anything that they may have, they give, and if they don't have it, she usually will try to refer you to somebody else that might have it.
It's the love of the children. It's the love of the children and support for the families, because we know our families need us.
I owe Providence House everything that I am today.
I think the team at Providence House is extremely committed to making sure that we meet the increased demand for our services in the community. And with lessening restrictions with the pandemic, it increases our capacity to serve children on the west side. But also our Eastside Crisis Nursery is on the horizon, and we're really excited about expanding again our ability to serve more families. And we need your support now more than ever.
Good afternoon. Welcome everyone again. Welcome to our live stream participants. So we're all being live streamed as well for those that couldn't join us today. I'm Natalie Leak. I'm the president and CEO of Providence House, and I'm so honored that you're all here, and I'm so amazed and happy to be all together face to face again after 2 years since we've last gathered together. And I'm so proud of our staff, our board, and our families. Everyone rallied around our response to COVID with creativity, innovation, and vision, as you saw. When Sister Hope opened Providence House 41 years ago, she did so with the deepest love for our children and a really big vision, one that over 40 years later is being recognized nationally as an innovator in keeping kids safe while strengthening and preserving families. The new vision for child welfare across the nation is now about supporting families through crisis and keeping them together whenever possible. Providence House has been doing this for 41 years, and we're proud to be a national leader as we see the child welfare system turn direction and support families. But then, like now, Sister Hope didn't always know how she would support these children and families, just that she needed to. She didn't always know who would help us, just that someone had to. She also didn't know if they would be there with us as you have for all these years. And I'm gonna hope and ask that you are gonna be here to help us again today. So for 41 years, as you've heard, we have been a haven of love and safety for over 13,000 of our community's children. This has only been possible because of the love and generosity of people like all of you here today. 41 years ago, Sister Hope could not have imagined all that Providence House has become and is becoming, how we've grown, how many children we've protected, how many families we've helped stay together. But more children need us. More children need you. And so I'm here today asking you to make a gift to our children. You knew this was coming. It's a big part of why we're here today. Our goal, it's a big one, is to raise $93,000 in honor of Sister Hope's 93rd birthday on May 3rd. I know this is a big ask for some of you, so consider $53 for May 3rd, 5-3. For others, you might be able to add a zero to the $93 and give $930, or even another zero or a comma in there. Like past years, you can give a gift today by texting your gift. We're gonna make it super easy. Instructions should be on the screen behind me, as well as a scrolling screen of people who have already texted their gift by typing a new message to the number 4144, and in the message line, Hope 93 with no spaces. There's an instruction page in your program book that walks you all the way through this. If you want your name up here, you enter Hope 93 in the message, a space, your gift is a whole number, 930, another space, and your name. And that's how you'll end up there. As you make your gifts, check out, keep an eye on the screen behind me. We're gonna pop it up throughout the remainder of the day as we work toward our goal. And I want you to see who else is joining you in helping our children. Remember, your gift is in honor of Sister Hope's 93rd birthday on May 3rd. So a gift with a 9 or a 3, a 5 or a 3, and a few zeros, it all works. And you can help us get closer. Every gift will help us care for more children and more children who need us. We'll keep checking our goals, and don't be surprised if you see the names of some friends or family members who aren't even here today. At this very minute, social media is carrying the same request out on Twitter and Facebook and our website and our live feed, so people not even in the ballroom today are joining to help us reach our goal. For those of you that are old school and you don't want text, we do have envelopes on the table. You can write a check, put in cash. You can go to any of the stations in the back where the baskets were if you want to swipe a credit card, but please consider making a gift to help our children today. So as we honor Sister Hope's 93rd birthday with your gifts and we celebrate her vision, it's important to remember that starting a crisis nursery in 1981 was almost unheard of. No one knew what it was. But she had a vision that she could keep children safe and families together. And we're still doing that work over 40 years later. You've heard about our vision and creativity through COVID, and that may seem like we tackled enough throughout the pandemic. But this is Providence House. We are always looking beyond crisis to the success and strengths that lie ahead for our families and our organization. So while we rallied to address the immediate needs of children and families during the pandemic, we also set our sights on our goals for the future by embarking on an aggressive 10-year strategic plan. Launched virtually in 2021 during our 40th anniversary, and I'm sure you were all glued to the videos that we shared last April, our Destination 50 plan was created with feedback from literally hundreds of constituents, donors, partners, friends, board members, and staff. We have made so much progress on these goals already and have much more work underway that we're excited to tell you about. And while I'd love to walk you through each one of our strategies, I know that we have a packed groundbreaking program today, so I'm happy to share a very brief overview of our Destination 50 plan, and I'm excited to share some of the amazing progress on our journey with you in the months and years to come. I think there's a video. As we move beyond our Vision 40 strategic plan completed in our 40th anniversary, Providence House is embarking on an exciting journey into the next decade of creativity and growth with our Destination 50 strategic plan. Every great journey has goals to reach its destination. The plan has 4 goals to keep us on track: care, community, culture, and core. The first stop on our Destination 50 journey is core. Our core goal is focused on advancing our mission and future vision by expanding our resources, diversifying revenue, and strengthening the relationships with all of our constituents. Our next stop on Destination 50 focuses on our care goals to continue to deliver vital services to children and their families while expanding programs and partnerships to meet ever-changing community need. A major effort in our care goal will be to expand east to serve the growing number of children who need us. Through our Giving Hope for the Future campaign, we will fund, build, and open our new Buckeye campus. As CORE keeps us on track and rolling ahead, while CARE grows and expands our services, we make the important stop to include our community. Our community stop is focused on goals to deepen and broaden community engagement, evaluate and share our data as a thought leader, and serve as a model to communities locally and nationally. Core, care, and community are critical components on our path to Destination 50. At the heart of our success in these goals will be the culture that we develop and nurture to support our children and families, the staff who care for them, and the community that supports them. Providence House will cultivate a culture of inclusivity and equity inside and outside of our organization. We do and will continue to embrace everyone in an organizational culture that reflects our diverse community and clients. Now that we've secured our precious cargo and our journey has been mapped, we are ready to embark on our Destination 50 plan. There will likely be new twists and turns as we travel this adventure, and we look forward to sharing exciting opportunities as they may come around the bend. So hang on to your boarding pass, stay tuned for updates on our progress, and join us for this amazing ride to Destination 50. All aboard! I was all for train whistles as the guest gift. I got voted down. So as you can see, we have some big plans and a big vision for our future. I want to give special thanks to our board member, Paul Kostiak, who's led this effort on the board side, and our partners at Strategy Design Partners, who led us through this whole Destination 50 planning process. Of course, a major milestone of our new plan is the Providence House East Campus expansion, which we're going to tell you a little bit more about in a bit. It's a huge effort to address an incredibly growing need for children in crisis in our community, particularly on the Near East Side. So it is my honor first to introduce one of our Giving Hope for the Future campaign chairs, Paul Dolan, who will be introducing our keynote speaker today. Paul?
Good afternoon. As you've heard, this has been a groundbreaking year for Providence House. And as you all know, it's also been a groundbreaking year for the city of Cleveland with new leadership for our city. So it is my honor to introduce today's keynote speaker, Cleveland Mayor Justin Bibb. Mayor Bibb has made his commitment to Cleveland's children clear from the moment he stepped forward to lead our city. He grew up in a neighborhood near our new East Campus and knows the challenges facing so many of the residents of our city. And he is committed to improving their lives and their futures. Please welcome Mayor of the City of Cleveland, Justin Bibb.
Paul, I want you to know I went to church on Easter Sunday, and I prayed for a Guardians World Series this year. So, crossing my fingers. It is certainly an honor and a pleasure to be here this afternoon to celebrate this important occasion in our great city. I want to thank Natalie Leak for her amazing leadership of the Providence House. I also want to thank Paul and Karen Dolan for your stewardship and commitment to this issue in our city, and to all the attendees for joining here today. You know, this issue is very important to me as a native son of the Southeast Side in the Mount Pleasant neighborhood. And when I reflected on the mission of Providence House, the word that came to me, that struck me in a very vivid way, was this notion of family stability. Family stability. You know, my parents divorced when I was 4 years old. My dad was a fireman and a cop. My mom at the time only had a high school education, and the only job she could get was to be a nursing aide at Metro Health Hospital at the time. My parents' own demons didn't allow them to stay together. And my dad went to go live with his parents in Shaker, and by the grace of God, my mother, Charlene, had a good home to go to, Grandma Sarah's house on 121st in Dove. And in Grandma Sarah's house, I was guaranteed a couple of things. Number one, I was guaranteed to go to church every Sunday, right? You know what I'm talking about. I was guaranteed 3 hot meals every single day. But the most important thing I was guaranteed was love. Love. And I don't know where I would be without being able to go back to Grandma Sarah's house when my mother was down on her luck. Now, my mother worked hard. She was able to go to Tri-C and build a pathway to a middle-class life, but there were a couple hiccups along the way. I remember she saved just enough money for us to get a nice, shiny new apartment in Garfield Heights, right off Transportation Boulevard. She used all the earned income tax credit money she got to get brand new furniture for us. But then she got laid off. She got laid off. And then again, Grandma Sarah opened up her doors to us once again. But unfortunately, not many children in our city have a Grandma Sarah or an uncle or auntie. Not many children in our city, particularly in Cleveland's East Side, have the ability to have a home where they can get love they can get 3 hot meals a day and get the support they need to achieve their God-given potential. And this motto, this credo that you have of every child is your child is something we must take seriously now more than ever in our city. As you know, we are currently the poorest big city in America. Nearly 1 out of 2 of our children live in poverty. And so the question before us is, what will be our legacy? We have a resilient spirit in this city, and I believe with very smart collaboration, with political will, and the courage to dream once again, we can make sure that every child has the support, the empowerment, and the hope they need to achieve their calling once and for all. And my administration is working around the clock to make sure that every child has that opportunity. For the first time in City Hall's history, we have a new cabinet-level official, Sonia Pryor-Jones, who's joined here with us this afternoon, our new Chief of Youth and Family Success. And we are deploying an all-of-government approach to make sure we have stable neighborhoods all across our community. And in just 100 days, we've made some strong strides to make that vision a reality. Number one, with the support of the Cleveland Clinic and City Council, we helped to raise over $100 million to eradicate the lead paint crisis in our city. The second thing we've done is we intend to have a children's cabinet at City Hall where we bring stakeholders from the county, the foundation sector, and children to make sure that their voice are at the table to ensure they can give us input on what's going to work for them to make this city work for our children and our families. And as mayor, I intend to commit a significant amount of capital to make sure that we can finally have cranes in the sky in the east side of our city. Because until the east side works, until we see a vibrant Lee Harvard, a vibrant Mount Pleasant, a vibrant Union Miles, we will not be a city of opportunity that works for everyone. And so again, I just want to thank you for your commitment to this important issue in our community. And I want to leave you with one final call to action. You know, one of my favorite poets is Langston Hughes. And as you know, he spent a lot of his time in Cleveland throughout his career. And he said that a dream deferred for one is a dream deferred for all. I'm gonna say that again. A dream deferred for one is a dream deferred for all. And if we've learned anything over the last 2 years throughout this pandemic and the other pandemic of historical racial injustice after the tragic murder of our brother George Floyd, is that all of our destinies as citizens of this great nation are interconnected. As Dr. King said, we live in this web of mutuality. And so we all must be arc builders towards bending the moral arc of the universe a bit more towards justice. We can't live in our own silos. We can't get comfortable in our own comfort zones. We all have a role to play in this movement. And I believe that Providence House will play a major role to making sure that this city will work for our families and children once and for all. So thank you for your commitment. Thank you for your love and support of our families and children. Let's keep all of our families and children under our prayers, under God's providence, and God bless our great nation and our great city. Thank you so much. Great. Here. Haven't had a teddy bear in a while, by the way. What's that? Appreciate it.
Get all this organized.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
As I shared with Mayor Bibb, the Providence House teddy bear is the first thing a child receives when they come to stay with us. So very special friends of the organization get their Providence House teddy bear and also their Every Child Award. So as you heard, lots of big plans for the city, lots of big plans for Providence House. Again, it's my honor to bring up Karen and Paul Dolan, who are the campaign chairs for the Giving Hope for the Future campaign for our East Campus. And they have some exciting news to share with you.
Hi again, Karen here, and Paul. As Natalie mentioned, we are the chairs of the Giving Hope for the Future campaign, working on our East Side campus in the Buckeye Shaker neighborhood.
So I feel like the plus one here. But as you heard Natalie say, demand for what Providence House does has grown every year. And so we're here to announce that Providence House, in response to that growing demand, has broken ground on its new East Side campus crisis nursery. So even while COVID created havoc for everyone, and Providence House rallied to modify services to meet the new restrictions and needs, while also launching their new Destination 50 strategic plan, which you saw, their vision for their future remains steadfast. So our $20 million Giving Hope for the Future campaign has already raised $10 million. And this $10 million has allowed us to complete renovations and begin construction on the new crisis nursery wing at the East Side campus. Support for this project has come from every sector: private donors, foundations, the City of Cleveland, and partners like Community Development Advisors and Burton Bell Carr Development Corporation. This is a community project for our community's kids.
Here's some good news. Our new East Campus and Crisis Nursery will support nearly 250 more children and over 400 more families each year, which is awesome and necessary. So combined with our West Campus, this means nearly 600 children and over 800 families will be supported by Providence House annually. Awesome. Our plans have also grown to include a new community hub that will bring our social service partners and essential services right to the campus, which is just so important for the support of all the families that have worked with Providence House. Take a look at this short video and you'll know more.
Providence House was really like a lifesaver for us. I hope that you're never in the position that I'm in, but if it ever happens, I thank God for a place like Providence House because I didn't have any options.
Providence House is expanding to the east side because we noticed an alarming increase in the number of children and families who needed our services. 70% of our unserved children are from near east side communities. And so we're going where the children are.
Providence House does a lot to help single parent households. And approximately 65 to 70% of this neighborhood are headed by single parent households.
Look, every community wants to live in a neighborhood where neighbors look out for each other. Providence House has been that neighbor in Cleveland for more than 40 years.
When you think about the types of opportunities that are available, it can be really frustrating because a lot of times the quality is not there.
I'm really impressed with the efforts that they're making to try to be inclusive in the process, to establish relationships, learn in the neighborhood, learn in the community, and do what they can to support the community as well.
Before they even step foot or put one drop of paint on the walls, they really got involved in the community.
So the Providence House East Campus project initially started off with how do we work with the historic building that's there, knowing that we needed new administrative spaces, and we still wanted to support children in a crisis nursery and expand our access for families in the community. We came up with a plan that the ground floor of the building would be a children's education center to which we would connect the residential crisis nursery for children. And in addition, some of those spaces could be converted to community gathering spaces.
Whatever you may think Bricks and Sticks is, this was a Bricks and Sticks project that really brought in the human-centric. I mean, just the existence of Providence House on Buckeye Road is going to be astronomically impactful.
There's a need for us to not just look at ourselves as individual entities, but to look at ourselves as partners and how we can all be able to support each other.
The whole idea of it takes a village is so real, and Providence House is part of that village. The help, the support, the wraparound. The Providence House is like a hug.
The second floor of the facility is our Family Resiliency Center for parent visitation, case management, counseling services. And the latest phase of the project is the building next door to our crisis nursery facility, and that will become a neighborhood community hub. And we really want to make sure that the families we're serving on our East Campus have the same opportunity to connect to long-term support services right there in their neighborhood.
Proximity is huge. A lot of the women that you serve probably can walk here. It's a big city, but it's a small town, and a lot of people that live on the east side don't like to go to the west side for services.
This is a key social service for our community, and by being here and being more visible, I think that it will be helpful.
We have had amazing reception from the community, from merchants, from residents, clients who we've served on our West Campus who live in the neighborhood are thankful that we're going to be in their community for them. I think for any nonprofit to take on a capital project is huge. We're chasing every day just to keep the operations funded and raise the dollars we need to support our services. This was really a community effort to pull this all together, and that is really what's been amazing about this project. It's because of the partnership of the community, the whole community, that we're able to do this.
Needing support and needing a safe space for your children it's not a great feeling, but having it available can make or break a family.
Exciting can't even describe how we feel about this project. It's the most significant expansion of Providence House that we've ever undertaken in our 41-year history. So it's really, really super excited and, as we all know, super necessary. As Paul said, we still have a way to go to hit our full $20 million goal, but we are confident that this community cares about its children and will get us there. But we're not here to ask for your support for our Eastside Campus project today. We're focusing on Sister Hope's 93rd. But doing a campaign like this is always a challenge and a sacrifice when we ask for additional support. So please remember that our children come first, and your gift today in honor of Sister Hope's birthday will help support the children at Providence House. If you are interested in more information about our expansion and new campus, please reference the page in the program, talk to Paul or myself, or visit our website at www.providencehouse.org/givinghope. Thank you.
Sorry, we juggled some things around to get Mayor Bibb in and out in time for his next stop. So now, again, we want to thank you all for your commitment to community's children, obviously Mayor Bibb, and we have a few other people, really special people at Providence House that are here today that we want to honor. Just a quick reminder that As soon as I'm done here, Karen's coming up, she's pulling raffle baskets, she's closing this thing down. So if you don't have the tickets that you want or you need some t-shirts, this is a window of time before we wind down the program. But first, it's really my honor to bring to your attention some really, really special individuals and organizations that have helped us by making every child truly their child in amazing and selfless ways. Their commitment to helping our children in crisis in our community and helping Providence House do the work we do is exemplary. We offer our gratitude to them today by honoring them for their dedication to Providence House and the children and families that we serve. As I share a bit about each of our Every Child Award winners, I ask each awardee group or your representatives to come up toward the front of the stage here, and you will be greeted by Karen Dolan and our board chair, Greg Rush, who will present your Every Child Award. And please pause for a photo or the photographers will yell at me. So we're really honored to present our very first Every Child Award to HD&S Architects. Hedy DeFrancisco and Siebold Incorporated, HD&S, formerly Herman Gibbons Fodor Incorporated, is one of the longest established architectural firms in Ohio. Since its founding in Cleveland in 1937, the firm has received countless national, state, and local awards for outstanding design. Today, they continue that legacy of providing professional architecture, interior design, and planning services for their clients. HD&S has been the architect for Providence House for over 15 years. I keep telling them I'm like a bad penny. I just keep showing up with new ideas and ways we can help children. They have worked with our teams to design beautiful spaces that are really sensitive to the needs of our children, our families, and our staff, while meeting the very strict mandates of our licensing standards as a children's residential facility. They have been with Providence House through each phase of growth on our West Campus, and most recently designed the renovation and construction of our new East Campus and Crisis Nursery, allowing us to double our service capacity. HD&S is highly acclaimed for their incredible residential designs for complex senior living and memory care communities. So when I asked them why Providence House, during their first interview, their lead principal, Dave DeFrancisco, who's right here, this lovely gentleman, said, "We always build one of the last places someone will live. We want to build one of the first." Now you know why we picked them. So congratulations, HD&S. You guys are champions for our children. Don't forget to stop for that photo. Our second honoree is the Albert M. Higley Company. You're seeing a theme here, right? For nearly a century, the Albert M. Higley Company has looked beyond the bricks and mortar of their projects to better understand the needs, goals, and visions of their clients. They understand that buildings are not the end unto themselves, but rather a part of helping clients better achieve their mission. They have helped Providence House advance our mission of caring for children as our construction management firm for over a decade. Not only has AM Higley mobilized their teams to oversee and complete major renovations and construction on our West and now East campuses, they have also coordinated large volunteer crews for special projects, been a longtime partner in prevention, and have offered service and leadership on our board of directors for over 15 years with AMH president and past board member Gareth Vaughn, and today board member Mike Mooney. My spot. Similar to HD&S, beyond their own bricks and mortar mission, when we interviewed construction managers many years ago, the Higley representatives said, "Every day we don't finish this project on time and on budget is another day that 20 children will not be served. We will beat the deadline and we will beat this budget so that every child has a safe place." How could they not? I mean, look at these interviews these people did. I mean, come on. Congratulations, the Albert M. Higley Company. I'm gonna let them get their photo. Our next Every Child awardee is the Sherwin-Williams Women's Club. The Sherwin-Williams Women's Club was established in 1911 to offer women a chance to share interests and make a positive difference in their communities. Today, it's a network of over 850 women committed to the personal and professional development of its members and fostering connections with one another and the community. Their motto, Ever Forward, remains true to their commitment of helping others, including Providence House, for over a century. In 2011, the Women's Club celebrated their 100th anniversary and selected Providence House as their Ever Forward Award winner, and we were honored again in 2001 at their 110th anniversary with another Ever Forward Award for our positive impact on women and children in Cleveland. Members of the Sherwin-Williams Women's Club have consistently volunteered, held donations drives, donated fundraising proceeds to help our babies for our entire 40 years in existence. All proceeds from their fundraising efforts are donated to Cleveland-based charities, and the Sherwin-Williams Foundation matches each and every gift from the club, amplifying their impact on this community. As an organization that also strives ever forward, Providence House is ever grateful for the Sherwin-Williams Women's Club and all that they make possible for women and children in our community. Thank you so much. And yes, our buildings have Sherwin-Williams paint. And last but never least, our individual Every Child awardee is Jane Cronin. Jane, if you would come up. Jane Cronin is Senior Vice President and Corporate Controllers of the Sherwin-Williams Company. Over her 30-plus year career at Sherwin-Williams, she has held various management positions, including Director of Financial Planning and Reporting, Director of Accounting, Vice President and Controller of Diversified Brands, and Vice President of Corporate Audit and Loss Prevention. Jane has been a member of the Providence House Board of Directors since 2012 and served 2 terms as board chair. She is currently board chair emeritus, chair of the Providence House Governance Committee, and vice chair of the Giving Hope for the Future campaign, along with Paul and Karen Dolan. Through Jane's vision, leadership, and personal commitment, Providence House successfully launched our Giving Hope for the Future East Campus project, which is the largest expansion of our facilities and services in our 41-year history. As a nonprofit CEO, I know that your board chair is essential, and I have had many amazing board members and chairs in my past 20 years at Providence House. Jane is one of the best. I'm gonna start crying. She's been, for me, a champion, a challenger, a convener, and a coach. And my respect for her is boundless. Sorry, Jane. I'm making her cry. Jane is a visionary leader for our nonprofit, and her impact on our organization will be recognized for years to come and truly improve the lives of thousands of families and children in Greater Cleveland for generations. So please join me in recognizing Jane. We need tissues, too. So again, a round of applause for our honorees today. Truly amazing individuals and organizations who are helping us build stronger communities for every child, always and in all ways. We thank you all. And now I'm going to turn it back over to Karen, to announce our raffle winners and share her closing remarks. She's determined we're going to hit time. How are we? Oh, we're good. We're good.
Congratulations to all of our awardees. As Natalie said, I would like to echo that we truly appreciate everything that you do for Providence House. Thanks again to the mayor. His remarks were very powerful and very heartfelt, and we're so grateful that he was able to spend some time with us. Thank you for your support, for being here today. It's so great to see everyone's smiling face. Please continue to support Providence House. Think about our exciting East Side expansion, and we are done. Hope to see you all next year. Thanks again for coming.